Thank you for joining Ham Radio 2.0 Sunday night live stream. We'll get started here in just a minute. All right, it is 7 o'clock in Texas. Appreciate everyone joining tonight. And the Holy Grail comments in the chat are not going unnoticed. What is the air velocity of a swallow? Happy Father's Day to everybody that's out there. Appreciate you guys being here tonight. Special shout out to all the folks in green text in the chat. 45 Auto was first tonight. And Don N5SKT was in before Andy Cali. It's always fun. Juan Luis is in the chat. Let's see. KB8DXN's in the chat. WV8EER. AC3IK Ed's in the chat. Appreciate you guys being here. Scott, K0WAV. Todd, KJ7JHH. And there's Jody, VE5SAR. And there's Izzo. What's up, Izzo? Thank you for joining the chat tonight. So, you guys get your questions ready. We don't really have an agenda tonight. I'm just going to be completely transparent with everybody. Just be honest with you. When I don't have a topic for tonight, I do an AMA. Now, these are fun to do. The first time I did one, I was like, you know what? I've got this thing. And right now I'm working on about 3 different projects, 3 different topics for live streams that I want to do in upcoming weeks. But I don't have any of them. I don't have any of them free right now. So, or ready yet, I should say. So I decided to do this. But I did this a few months ago, and I actually had a really good time doing it. I thought that the interactions in the chat were really well. I got some really good feedback about it on the team replay comments after the fact. So I'm like, okay. So I think this is the 3rd one I've done. But yeah, so everybody feel free to type your questions in the chat, and we will. There's Kyle. What's up, dude? Wayne Johnson's in the chat. And yeah, we'll go from there. All right. It's time to bring Frank on because he's waiting patiently. I can't fault him for that. What's up, man?
If you're talking to me, you're muted. I can't hear you.
I'm muted to you, but I wasn't muted to the stream. There you go.
There you go.
You can hear me now.
No, I didn't hear anything that you were talking about.
Oh, yeah, I know. I muted you because you guys have a habit, especially in the happy hour, of I usually don't mute myself in Zoom, and you guys have a habit of talking, and I can hear you in the headset, and it distracts me. So I decided to mute myself in Zoom tonight.
Yeah, but you muted yourself, so that means I can't hear you. It doesn't mute me from you.
No, I know that, but now since you're not hearing me, you're not talking back to me. So it's psychological warfare. Yeah.
I see how that works. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Man. I'm hanging in there. Juan Luis, thank you for the $10 super chat. Appreciate you being here. Izzo wants me to keep Frank muted. He paid me $20 to keep Frank muted. What do you know? That's a great
wow.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go outside and have a cigar and let you flounder.
You should. Gosh, yeah, that's the thing. Thank you for the super chats, guys. Appreciate y'all being here. Okay.
Well, starting off the bat really fast, this week is, or not, I'm sorry, this week was last week. Tomorrow is the last day for my whiskey tumblers.
Nice.
Look at that.
I believe, in fact, I was going to hit you up with this earlier.
Yeah.
I believe we have sold all but one of them.
Nice.
I believe there's one set left, I should say.
One set.
Because there's a set of 2.
Yep.
Now, if you sell that set tonight during the live stream, and I want to purchase one set on top of that, is that doable or no?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So that set, what I told you, was the bare minimal numbers.
It was the minimum.
I could sell. So
gotcha.
we go over that number. Okay. Yes. Thank y'all.
Yeah.
But I think we're just going to hit quota. And hey, I'm happy with doing that.
Yeah. I want to buy a set. Now, I'm not a big whiskey guy, as you know. But I want to buy a set, but I was going to let your audience, because we capped it at that number you gave. I don't remember what the number was, but we capped it at that number. So once we sell out that number, people won't be able to order anymore. And I believe there's one set left.
One set left. We can go ahead and up it. That was kind of my game. I just wanted to know when that number was hit, so we can. Right. I knew to just pivot or anything. I
meant to go look today, and I did not. I didn't go look today. I forgot about it. I was with my dad most of the afternoon.
Oh, of course. Yeah, Father's Day. I was same here. I had my family over.
Yeah. In fact, we need to get your dad back on the stream. For a more stepdad. I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. Stepdad,
you don't want my dad.
I'll let you make that decision. But Morse Monkey updates.
Yep,
We're gonna do that. I looked a couple weeks ago, and there was 2 left, and somebody ordered one last week. So I think that there's one left. I think there was 2 left before that order was placed last week.
Well, let's go ahead and up the count. Let's another 5.
I can do that.
Several people I see will say they'll go ahead and take it. So let's not let them get rejected here.
Well, okay. Well, they won't be rejected. They just won't be able to order once that last one's placed. But I'll go in there here in just a minute during the stream, and I'll let y'all know when I do it. Lawnmower wants to know, why does my neighbor's Kia make a ticking noise? Because it's not a Ford. Kyle wants to know, how's the CW coming along? It is. I admit I have not been practicing as much lately as what I should have, but I was actually a little bit earlier today. I got this really new cool key from Tony N3ZN at Hamcation. Got this at Hamcation, so I've played with it, and I got the little the thing you plug it into for the practice speaker thing from MFJ. I got that at Hamvention, so now I've been wanting to do that so I could get back onto a live stream and practice with a little bit more. So
play with that Morse Monkey behind you.
Yeah, with the Morse, and that one needs an update because he's done 2 or 3 updates since the last time that was out. But yeah, it's coming along, Kyle. I have not been practicing as much as I should have, but I am still hitting it pretty good. John from Yazoo wants to know, Frank, what's your favorite type of cigar?
I saw that, and I was going to circle around to that in a minute, but let's go ahead and knock it out now. My favorite size cigar. The fuller body, the better. I want a punch in the mouth with flavor because, and not sweet flavor, just pepperies and earth notes and all the other flavors you get out of cigars. Because mostly I'm drinking my cigars with whiskey and whiskey and whiskey and whiskey. Do I have a problem?
You might have a problem.
Well, they're not finished. If there were empty bottles, I think then we might have an issue.
Then you might have a problem.
And it's just the whiskey is like a lot of flavor, and it takes over your palate, and the alcohol evaporates and numbs your tongue a little bit. So I like the fuller body cigars, so it kind of punches through that. Aroma Crafts has a lot of good cigars. I love Padrones, any of the 1000 series, 3000 to 7000 is a good smoke. And what's another one? Our Father's great cigars.
Those are anything but Our Father or My Father. My Father, right? Not Our Father, but My Father.
Yeah, My Father. I always say that wrong.
My Father is by Don Pepin Garcia. Anything he does is fantastic. He used to do it like a blue label and a black label. He got the guy at Tatuaje started way back in the day, and I like Tatuaje cigars. But yes, My Father's by Don Pepin Garcia are very good. I like those. 45
Auto had a good question here since we're talking about Father's Day.
Okay.
He's asking me directly, but I'm going to pivot to you also. Does your father have any interest in amateur radio?
Not really. No, I've tried to get him licensed a couple of times, and he acts like he's am I maybe able to? He doesn't tell me no. He would be willing to do it if I went to him and said, "Look, Dad, I'd really like you to do this." He's semi-interested in it already, but he would be willing to do it if I really told him I wanted to. I try not to bug him about it. But my brother and my nephew, my brother's son, went and got licensed a couple of years ago, as I think I've mentioned on the stream before.
Yeah.
But yeah, when they did that, I'm like, Dad, you need to get yours now because you're like the only dude in the family who doesn't have it. Who's not licensed now. So he said he was going to do it, but I might do it one day, and he hasn't shown much interest in it, but that's all right. It's totally cool. So, but yeah, not much. So, Arthur has a really good question I want to get to. Did you have something else, Frank?
Yeah. I was gonna because I was asking you, and I was gonna have it throw back to me.
Go ahead.
My stepdad. We see my stepdad Scott on stream.
Yes.
He got interested after I got my license, and he was really interested in the hurricane nuts. So he went out and he got his general license, and he has a tower up in the backyard that did get hit by lightning. And the lightning arrestor saved everything.
Good. The tower actually got hit by lightning, and the lightning arresters actually saved everything?
Yes. He had buddy stick poles in a dipole fashion, so one end to one end. One side of the buddy sticks fell. The bracket holding them fell off completely, and you see the burnt ends, and he had to replace one of the buddy stick poles. Ouch. He had a lightning arrestor, and the polyphaser inside is blown, so he needs to replace that. But that means it did not get past the lightning arrestor.
The polyphaser did the day and saved the day and did its job. So yeah, I have a couple of that's what I have on the outside of my shack right now is polyphasers.
Scott's my stepdad. Then my dad, my real dad. Anytime I ask him about radio, he was an engineer, mechanical flight engineer, and I can't get him interested in anything. He's like, I'm done working. I don't want to learn anything new. Computers just need a halt, and they need to stay right here.
Who can blame him? Yeah, who can blame him?
Oh, so, that's a good one he got up right now. My husband's not interested in ham radio. I'm fine with that. I don't have to share my rig. Yeah. Nice.
Very cool.
Nice.
All right, so there's questions pouring in. If you type the word question, it will highlight it. I'm going to try to get to all these because that's what tonight is about. It's about a Q&A or an AMA Q&A. This is a good one. I like this one, Arthur. Okay, question. You have 3 HTs to use for the rest of your life. Name them in order. So 3, not 4, because I can tell you what the 4 would be. Now, here's the thing, okay? My answer might be different this time next year, or this time 3 or 5 years from now, because there's new stuff coming out all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so today, 3 HTs to use for the rest of my life. Okay, I would choose the Anytone 878 UV2 Plus. Okay, because it is it's got DMR. It's one of my favorite modes. It's got full transmit receive APRS with beaconing. It's got an extremely good battery life. It's got a nice screen, and it's programmable from the front panel, which is something semi-new to the DMR game. I would choose the Yaesu FT5 because it has APRS. It has true APRS. That's pretty much the only reason I'd choose the FT5. I don't care about the... Well, no, it's not. I don't care about the touch screen on that radio. The FT5 is charged. Well, many Yaesu HTs are chargeable directly via 12 volts. So you can plug a battery box. You can get a Yaesu cable and plug it and cut the ends of it off and put power poles on it, plug it directly in your battery box and charge the Yaesu HTs. You can kind of do that with the Anytone, except the Anytone plugs into a charging base, a desktop charging base. And you can plug that into a cigarette. You can get one with a cigarette lighter adapter, which of course you could cut off and put power poles on. So you could kind of, but it's a charging base. Exactly. Yeah. 12 volt the world. And my third one is probably kind of up in the air because I would want something with 220 on it. So if I had to choose today, it would probably be the Yaesu VX6R, but here in a couple of months, it's going to be the Kenwood D75.
I was thinking you're going to go that way
because it also has true APRS. And it's 2 meters, 220 and 440. So that's a loaded for me to answer that question on the spot and not think about it at all. Those are probably my top three: is the Anytone, the Yaesu, and the Kenwood. The ICOM ID52 would certainly be on the table, and even the Waxon Oshang UV90 Mate would be on the table, because that's a really good radio as well. And they've got and Better Safe Radio now has batteries. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but it's been in my shopping video a couple times. Better Safe Radio now has batteries for all of the Waxon UV9X, UV9 series radios, 9 Papa, 9 Kilo, 9D Mate, that are USB-C chargeable. You plug a USB-C port into the battery itself, and it charges the battery. So you can get those for any of the Waxon radios. And I'm saying Waxon on purpose. But, yeah, so they sell the UV9 Papa X-Ray, obviously. Those batteries, I think, are $20 or $25. They're not very expensive. And he keeps selling out of them. He gets like 100 or 200 of them in, and they're gone in like a week, because why wouldn't they be? But you can get those with USB-C charging now. And that's another thing. You've got 12-volt charging for the Anytone. You've got direct 12-volt charging for the Yaesu. And you will have USB-C charging for the D75. So, you know, and you know, on the ICOM, you could, it's micro USB, but at least it's not proprietary. You've got micro USB charging for the ICOM as well. So, take your pick there. But yeah, for an on-the-spot question without me having to think about it for a weekend, that's probably my answer.
I've been thinking. I agree with you with the Anytone radio. That gives you 2 meter, 440, and DMR, which I think in the DFW area is the right choice. Maybe not your right choice, but in our area, the right choice.
Right.
I would really like a Waxon radio that's full duplex. I think that would be my second choice. And my third choice, controversial. And this is controversial because the one guy that we know doesn't get off his lazy butt and update things. I would really like the R Finder to be more up to date. If it was more up to date and he had a better release or a newer release of it,
that's not his fault. But yes,
but it's his fault for the OS. Yes.
No, it's not. No, it's not really his fault for the OS. We've talked about that extensively. It's not really his fault for the OS. But I see what you're saying, and I don't disagree with you. Yes, if he had like Android 12 or 13 or something on it, absolutely, yes, you're correct. And an R Finder would be an R Finder. You know, I'm thinking HT. An R Finder
is an HT.
It's more than an HT.
It's more than an HT.
It's more than an HT. A lot of people come by and they talk about the R Finder like that's too expensive for an HT. If you're thinking of the R Finder as an HT, you're thinking about it wrong. Okay, because it is an HT, but it's much more than that too.
It's an HT plus an Android, and you can talk on it with a normal phone. I will not put that as a phone replacement anymore.
You can put that's up to the individual person. You can do direct connection to TGIF and Brandmeister without a hotspot. Okay, it does APRS over DMR now. He is working on and will eventually have APRS over and beaconing APRS RF over analog, so it'll have full function APRS very soon. And of course, he's adding the satellite thing. So. And that's just one thing he's working on 2 or 3 other
satellite
things.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah, that's gonna be
so that's
cool.
That's my answer there.
That's
so
okay.
Let's go on.
Okay, yeah. Let's not try to spend too much time on any of these questions. We want to try to get.
Be here all night.
Yeah. Okay, so John had a good question.
Which one? About Swisher Sweets? Because I deleted that comment.
No. You know John's messing with you if he's talking about Swisher Sweet. Do you think modification of amateur equipment is causing problems with other bands, FRS, GMRS, Marine Band? Define problems. Do you think, are you asking me if it's causing bad harmonic interference? Or do you think,
is there a news article this is related to? What is there a backstory on this? Or
I personally think that we should have a radio that does everything, that's full up and transmit everywhere. And if you have a license to transmit on those bands, commercial, GMRS, ham, marine, everybody can transmit on marine.
But for our
on
radios, we have a license to operate radios. I don't want a radio band locked.
Right. I think we ought to have. I think we ought to have
the rule where we can go and transmit anywhere on emergency. We can. And
that's part 97. But yes, but you got to understand the definition of FCC. You got to understand FCC's definition of emergency. But yes, I personally think that if I have a GMRS license, I should be able to transmit on GMRS from any radio.
I agree too, as long as you have permissions on that frequency.
Right.
But as far as this radio going to be sold to civilians under commercial work or CB or GMRS radios that built for that specific use case, I understand channel locks and frequencies and all that other stuff. But if I'm buying an amateur radio, I don't want any limitations on it.
Right. No, I agree with that. So, of course, the FCC didn't call me and ask me for my opinion, so that's why it's not out there.
That's why it goes on YouTube.
But yeah, exactly. Yeah. Don wants to know if I pulled the trigger on a 6600. No, I have not. I want to. I did pull the trigger on a new Maestro, and Michael Walker and I have plans to come on to a live stream on my channel and talk about the new Maestro as soon as it's out, which will be sometime this fall. So yeah, I pre-ordered a new Maestro.
I got a question here from Mindfulness.
Where are you reading questions from?
Oh, I'm just copying and pasting them as I see them.
Okay, well, I'm going in order in the chat for everybody who typed the word question in their question.
Okay.
So, Ed says, how many Thundersticks do you expect at the Deer Lease next weekend? I don't think I can count that high. A few. I don't know who all was bringing them seriously, but yeah, a few. Do you have any black powder hole punch at the Deer Lease? No, we don't really do anything with black powder.
No,
I don't have anything for black powder.
I thought about it, but no.
Oh, that's a great question, Scott. Assume you have time and are not busy. What is the biggest thing keeping you from upgrading to Amateur Extra? Keep up the great videos. Thank you, Scott, for being here.
Time.
I have a plan for that. Just a recently developed plan. I have a recently developed plan, like within the last month, to do that. And I should have probably done Extra by April, like a lot of the guys did over on the the Clubhouse Discord. But I was...
Oh, that was open to everyone. It was not just the Clubhouse. It was
started by the Clubhouse. They started it. No, it was open to everyone. Yeah, absolutely it was. But I used the excuse that I wanted to keep studying for CW, and I did that. Again, I haven't kept up with that as much as I wanted to, but I have been keeping up with my CW studies. And then I devised a plan just like about a month ago. I was like, oh, I know exactly how I want to do upgrade to Extra. So, yes. Yeah. Okay, Mind Fluicious. You didn't type the word question, but I see your question.
Yeah,
going for tech.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Going for tech on Wednesday. Have a basement apartment. Bad cell service sometimes. Well, if you're going to test over Zoom, if you're going to test virtually, you're going to have a webcam that has a good signal so they can see what you're doing.
But all right. So I did ask him for some clarification. I was asking him what bands, and I think he's wanting to know what bands and stuff that to use out in an apartment.
Oh, well, whatever repeaters are near you.
Yeah. So the just having bad cell phone signal probably won't doesn't affect anything in amateur radio. It's just you need to get close to repeaters. And my first setup in the apartments was I had a handheld and a Ed Fong roll-up J-pole antenna that I clipped outside, and no one said a thing. It was out there for years, and I ran the coax cable inside, and I was talking inside the apartment with it, and it worked great. And for some time, I also took a mag melt and slammed it on my metal fencing railing, and that worked pretty well.
Yes, I thought he meant to actually take the test, but maybe he was talking about something else. So, okay, Greg's asking, what about the newish Anytone Beat 1 remote microphone, good, bad? I've had very good success with mine. It's right here. I had been planning on putting this Anytone 578, which is right... Where'd it go? It's around here somewhere. Oh, it's back there, I think. Back there. Anyway, I was been planning on putting my Anytone 578 into my truck and using this as the microphone for my truck. But I've got a super special, sleek new thing to do with that radio. a viewer reached out to me. He's like, "Hey, I've got something for the 578. Do you want it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So he's gonna send me 2 of them. I'm not gonna tell you what it is yet. He's gonna send me 2 of them. I'm gonna keep one, and I'm gonna give one away on a live stream upcoming. So, yeah, I got something new upcoming with that radio. So I probably will end up eventually putting it in the truck anyway, because I want a DMR radio in the truck. But yeah. If you use an NMO adapter for the ATOS, will it adversely affect the performance and point? Ouch. Oh gosh, that's a good. I don't have an ATOS, so I can't speak from experience. I would reach out to K at MRD. He's got an ATOS and uses it often, and ask him that question. I don't think you'd want to put an ATOS on an NMO, because I don't think it would handle it. I could be wrong about that. I don't know. I don't have an ATOS. Seems like too much antenna for an NMO, but yeah. I don't know. Mike, reach out to K8MRD. Email him about his Mailbag Monday with that question. He'll answer it on his Mailbag Monday videos.
And he'll probably do a demo if he can.
Okay, Adam, that's cheating. He said he's listing 3. I assume he's answering the 3HT question. Kenwood DH72, which is an excellent choice, because it is a full duplex radio.
Plus, it does 220.
No, it doesn't. D72, no, it doesn't do 220. It does APRS.
Oh, okay.
It's dual band.
Another one.
Yeah, it's dual band, full duplex, and it does true APRS like Kenwood's do. He says an Elecraft KX2. Hey, it's a handheld. I don't think that's what he was asking. But yeah, hey, good choice.
There was the guy, I forgot his name, who showed us that he put the custom.
You could totally do that. You
walking
could,
around.
Yeah. You could do like
antenna that long, and
you could do like the MFJ single band telescoping HF antennas. You could do a ham stick. You could totally do that.
I do have an answer for his last point.
And a Baofeng.
We said it has to last us the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
And a Baofeng.
Is a fang going to last the rest of your life? I don't know. We'll see. Good answers, though, Adam. Very good answers. Okay, so Izzo, an Icom 51. I never liked the Icon ID 51. That's just my personal preference. Nothing wrong with it. I just never liked that radio. The Motorola 7550, great choice. And an Icom 705, which is a handheld. Okay. All right, we're getting some cool handheld answers, yeah. I took that to mean HT, as in like VHF, UHF, HT, but okay.
An HT and HT.
Yeah. Okay, Kenneth says, just retired this week. Now should be able to spend more time with with the hobby. Question is, I have an Alpha Delta antenna to put up and wondering if I need an Unum or Balun in the line. Dude, that totally depends on which antenna you've got. Alpha Delta makes more than one antenna. Alpha Delta makes the switches that I have here on my shack, where I do the switcheroo thing between different antennas or different radios. So I'd need to know which antenna you've got. So it should say in the instruction. Honestly, just Google it. Google Alpha Delta and whatever model antenna you have, and it'll tell you there. But yeah, there's not enough information in there to answer that question. Sorry. Mine Fluicious. That's the same question you answered. Asked a minute ago.
Several times. So
okay. So we already got to that.
Yeah,
we already got to that. Okay, doing Pavo.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Jeff. Isn't the Waxon 9A mate? You mean 9D mate? Full duplex? I think that it is. Someone told me it was. That all the Waxon 9 UV9X radios were full duplex. I honestly have not tried it. I've not tried it. I think that it is, but I don't know. Because some satellite guys have told me they've used those Waxon radios and had good luck with them. So
10-watt crossband repeat.
It doesn't say that it is in the instruction. That's the thing. See, there was something about the Waxons that supposedly made them better for satellite work.
Mm-hmm.
They could transmit on one band and receive on another band, but I don't think you hear yourself. Well, I guess if it's transmitting on one band and receiving on another band, and you hit the satellite with the uplink, you would hear yourself.
You should hear yourself, yes.
If you're hitting
but the question
if
if the radio can support transmitting and receiving at the same time.
I think that it does. Adam's in the chat. He would probably know that better than I would because he's more of a satellite guru than I am. I plan on starting to mess with satellites when that new R-Finder Azel rotor comes out. He's been working on that for probably a year or something like that. But I've been told that they do, but I've never tested that myself. I've never had a need to test it myself. So, yeah.
I don't see it in the feature list.
No, it's not in the feature list.
By two-way radios.
Yeah. Ken says, hamstick versus 17-foot whip with everything else equal mount radio field coax. The 17-foot whip, the one from MFJ or the one from Chameleon, I assume is the ones you're talking about, will handle legal limit.
And
probably more, actually.
And then those whips are cut to the right band, right?
The hamstick whips are. Yes, the hamstick is. The whip is 17 foot, which I think if you extend it all the way, it's supposed to cover 20 meters, but then you can shorten it down and hit 17 and 15 and everything.
All right.
Since there's no matching unit, no transformer, no Unin or Balun in that 17-foot whip, you can dump as much power into it as you want. So what are you trying to do? The hamstick, I think, is rated at 100 watts, 150 watts, something like that, 125 watts maybe, something like that, depending on which hamstick you get, which brand. So what are you trying to do? You want to do some power?
Like his icon.
17 foot.
Adam did answer us. The KG5AHJ is full duplex. The one he has is full duplex.
Okay, so there's several models of the UV9D. The UV9D Mate is the 10-watt version. The UV9D, there's another one called UV9. Well, there's a brand new UV9D coming out from Better Safer Radio, and then there's a UV9D Plus, I think. My understanding was that all the UV9X radios were full duplex. So, yeah. Don says the UV8 Hotel is full duplex. It is listed as full duplex.
I'm trying to pull that one up.
So the main difference between UV8 and UV9 radios for Waxon is that the UV9 radios have like 7 or 8 bands receive. They're both dual band, dual band transmit, 2 meter for 40. The 8 is 2 meter for 40 only. The 9 has a bunch of these receive bands you can do. That's the main difference. It's not the only difference. It's the main difference. So if I'm not mistaken, I think all the UV9X radios will do full duplex.
And the UV9X
That's a good question.
Not that expensive. $150?
Yeah, $150.
Why haven't I bought this, Jason?
I don't know. I don't know why you haven't. So.
And it's 10 watts. That will run my my antenna behind me, my Arrow antenna. But I still got to replace the duplex or the multiplexer inside. I burnt it out.
Oh, oops. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to work satellites. I ran too much power.
All right, we're continuing on. Trying to get through all of these. Thank you for all the questions. It's really fun to see what you guys are asking. So Bob wants to know which 3 antennas would you choose for what bands? I mean, I have antennas on my truck for VHF, UHF, 220, 900, HF, APRS,
Can
GMRS.
I say antenna system? Like if I say the DX Commander, I can work all the bands.
You could, yeah, and in theory you could, yeah, that's true.
Then with the Buddy Hex or the Hex Beam guy for the house, I have the Hex Beam set up permanently at my house. That would be a good one.
Yes.
Yeah, that would give me multi-bands too.
Yeah, Hex Beam would be a Hex Beam would be it's one antenna. It's multi-banded, one antenna.
Yeah.
Hex Beam would be one of them. Yeah, but I don't know. 3 antennas for the rest of my life, I'd probably just quit the hobby. There's no way you could do that. Not with all the bands. Because you can't work 40 and 80 and 160 or 60 meters or even 30 meters on a Hex Beam.
How about the Stepper? Stepper
IR the Stepper, the Stepper is multi-banded, but it usually only goes up to like 20 or 30 meters as well. Maybe 40 meters. I think there's a 30 meter and a 40 meter version, so you can't like get 60, 80, 120 with it. Although I think it has add-ons for it, if I'm not mistaken.
Don's agreeing with the Hex Beam, and I think the Hex Beam will be a great antenna. Yeah. The Buddy Hex is a great portable Hex.
Yes.
Antenna.
I don't think I'd want to spend the rest of my life with only 3 antennas.
Yeah. Yep.
So, yeah. Some in-fed half wave somewhere. 100-watt minimum in-fed half wave. Actually, I'd probably want like the Chameleon LEFS. I think is rated for like 600 or 800 watts, something like that. So I'd be like, why the hell not? If I can only have one, I'd want one that would take the most power so that I could operate QRP 100 watts barefoot or with power.
And then I think for portable operation, if it's just quick portable, a linked and fed that I would do all the way up from 6 to 10 to 17 to 40 to 80 and give me all the bands.
Yep. Mike, I have not tried that stout you gave me at Dayton. I will try that next weekend at Field Day and put it on video for you. What radio would you suggest for blind hams? Okay, so I get asked this question actually quite a lot.
I don't know.
Most of the Chinese radios will talk to you. You can turn a voice off and on, so it'll say channel 1, channel 2, menu, or frequency mode, channel mode, that kind of thing. Most of the Chinese radios will do that. The Baofangs do that. I think all the Woxons, or most of the Woxons do that. I need to do more research on that and find out. I don't know the answer. I could give you an answer to it, but I don't know how accurate it would be. To my knowledge, none of the Japanese like the Kenwoods, Icoms, and Yaesus, I don't think have a voice prompt. I don't think. But all the Baofangs do. All the Baofangs do. I think most of the Woxons do.
So
I think,
is there any HF?
do.
Because we're covering handhelds here. Do we have an HF radio that can help you with that?
I've not seen. Now, if you have an SDR radio, something like a Flex or an Anon, or an expert
so
electronics,
expensive.
then you can get software on your computer that would talk to you with whatever program you're using. So use as some sort of SDR software on your computer and have a computer, which if you're a blind ham, you probably already have some sort of program on your computer that'll talk to you. So use SDR software like Smart SDR for Flex or Expert SDR for the
Todd,
radio, for the Sun SDR radios, that kind of thing.
Todd in the chat says the IC7300 will prompt with voice.
Really? Okay. I did not know that. I've never tried it.
Bam.
Good to know.
And that's a decently priced radio for still $1,000. But $1,000 it is a great
7300 is a great radio.
It's not upper high end. It's a great working radio.
Yeah. John's in the chat. He can tell us if the either the FTDX10 or the new FT710 or if the 991A, if the 7300 does it, the 991A might do it. Because those radios came out about the same time. So I'd like to know if that. Don wants to know, would you get your extra class license if you still had to pass a 20-word code, 20 word per minute code like I did? Yes, because I'm actually more interested in getting in learning and using CW than I am in getting my extra. I really am. I'm more interested in using CW because it's how do I say this? It's easier to travel. And I'm talking about traveling on an airplane, going out of town, going on vacation, getting on a plane, going somewhere. It's easier to travel with a QRP radio and a smaller battery, and it's easier to do CW and or FT8. That new FX4C I've got is going to be an FT8 monster. I'm going to travel with it. I'm going to do a lot of FT8 on it. But it's easier to do CW, and CW is a little bit more. I don't know if it's more prevalent than FT8 is, but it's a little bit more. FT8's like send a signal, receive a signal, hey, great, bye, and you're done. FT8 or CW, you can actually have a conversation if you want to, but there's a lot of guys that do POTA on CW. I want to be able to do POTA on CW. So I'm actually more interested in 20 words a minute. I'm not going to start there. I've been practicing at 15 words a minute. That's what I've been practicing at. But yes, Don, I think that I would. I think that I would because I'm actually more interested in learning code than I am learning the test questions is easier. I'm not going to say it's easy. It's easier than learning code, in my opinion. But the code is what I'm more interested in.
I'm going to pull it back really fast for the blind radio options. Scott in the chat says Yaesus do have a built-in module that you can turn on for voice prompts, but it doesn't go deep into the menu system. And then Dave also says the Kenwood TS590SG has a synthesizer option.
I believe several of the Kenwoods, including the older TS2000, has a voice module you can install. It doesn't come with it, but you can install after the fact to do voice prompting.
Yeah, I think that's great information to have in there. All right, next question.
All right, Wayne, I'm looking for your email you sent me earlier.
Does a wired rectangle connector and a...
Right, okay, so I want someone to tell me what the heck this is, because I've seen this before, and I don't know what the freak this is. Let's do a... Okay, let me get this up.
While you're looking that up here, I'll answer a question real fast. Okay. Jeff is asking about the TSA, and I feel like I'm more than qualified to talk about TSA.
I don't know if you're qualified, but you certainly are opinionated about it. So
well, I've gone through the ringer on them. He's asking, do the TSA give you any problems with QRP radios, antennas, batteries, cables, etc. boarding a plane? And the answer is no. As long as you go through the hoops that they say, and you have a battery that's under the legal limit for carrying on a plane, which I think is 10 or 15 amp hours.
Okay. So a little caveat about that. The TSA's website says 144 watt hours, which is 12 amp hours. 144 divided by 12 volts is 12 amp hours. However, it also says that the airlines themselves might have different restrictions.
American amp hours.
I thought it was like 16 or 15 or 16, something like that. It's higher than what the TSA says. I know that. It's higher than what the TSA says. So, yeah, that's true.
But as long as you follow the rules, you'll be all right. So this is a USB 3. I forgot the name of that plug.
What is that? It's in the back of like a USB hub, but it's that square rectangular funky connection that I've seen it before, but I don't know what it's called.
That square rectangle funky connection, I think it's used to carry more voltage over than what the normal USB is able to do.
Would make sense.
I've seen it several times, and it's always on something funky that is like, oh, of course this needs more power. Other than that, I think the USB-Cs carry some of that voltage too, and they don't need that unique funky USB adapter. But give me 1 second. USB types. I've seen it somewhere described. It is a USB-B type connector.
No, it's not. It's not a USB-B.
USB 3B.
USB 3B.
3B. Okay. So, boom.
Okay.
USB 3, and it's a B under the USB 3 standards. There's also the USB 3 micro B, and that's that long strip.
Yes.
Again, used for higher speeds and more power.
Okay.
I could dig into this. Here's that connector again. On the go connector, blah.
Yeah.
I think that's the answer. Go look at the Wikipedia article for more details. I'm not going to read it.
Put that Wikipedia article link in the chat, Frank.
Yeah.
If you would.
Look,
please.
I can co-host.
That's right. So Fiat Lux. Is the DX Commander built yet? If not, why not live stream with a collaboration effort to get it completed? No, I haven't built it yet. That should surprise no one. I don't know. You know, I will absolutely 110% film that. I don't think I'm going to do it on a live stream, though. I don't think I'm going to do it.
It's going to be longer than an hour to do it.
Right.
Take an hour to start. You just see us cutting elements. And that might be kind of fun, but then tuning each element individually, that's not going to be fun. You're just going to watch us. No. No.
Right. So, yeah. I have 2 brand new DX Commander Expeditions that I need to give away. So I got an email from Better Safe Radio this week. He's sending me 2 brand new UV9PX radios. So I'm going to set up a giveaway for July after we get back from Field Day. and I'm going to give away those 2 brand new HTs and those 2 DX Commander Expeditions brand new. When Callum did his sale on Easter, I bought 2 of them.
Ooh.
I just ordered 2 of them and paid Callum for them, and I did that for a giveaway. I actually bought 3 of them. I'm keeping 1 because I do not actually have an Expedition. I have a classic from way back.
I have an Expedition.
Yeah, you have an I don't have an Expedition. This is the first Expedition I've ever had. I bought back on Easter. I bought 3 of them. 3 of them. And 2 of them I'm giving away on the show. So be watching for a giveaway next month in July. So when are we going to see screenless and fully computer-controlled radios hit major markets? Screenless and fully computer-controlled radios. Flex radio has been around for years, dude. So that's a thing already. Sun SDR. Been around for years.
Hacker RF. So, there's a bunch of SDRs that you.
Yeah, well, those are receivers, but yeah, Hack RF, RTL SDR.
Oh, the Hacker RF is also a transmitter.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah,
right.
I got 2 of them at work.
Nice. Okay.
Dude, I could show you a picture of everything I want to bring home and do videos on, and I'm like, I'm not going to tangle channel with the office that much. But why a lot of my radios I want to bring out to the field, and I want to work without a computer, and it's just there's a bunch of more stuff you got to do to finally just operate. Now if you want to control it from a computer and do other things, there's a lot of great options out there with those SDRs. But if you just looking also to transmit those, the software is the Hacker RF is like milliwatts. You might get it up to a watt. Then you need to run it through an amp. But you, like you said, the Flex is a great option if they had a $1,000 version, not a $4,000 version.
They have a $2,000 version. The entry radio is like $2,200. So
they need to drop that still.
For what it is, I think it's pretty good. It's got 3 antenna ports on the back, 2 transmitting antenna, 1 receive antenna ports. It's got transverter ports on the back. For what it is, I think it's pretty accurately priced. But there you go. Let's see. Glendon says, do you guys know if a VHF UHF mobile rig that will do single sideband for satellite work? I'm looking for a pair of I am looking to pair 2 Yaesu FT818s, but I was wondering if there was a cheaper. Not cheaper. Well, probably not cheap. So that is a Yaesu FT847 right there. If you can see it behind me, it's right. Yeah, right there. That right there. That nope. That right there. And it does it. No, it's not. That's a Yaesu.
Okay.
It's a Yaesu right there. It's a Yaesu FT847. It is HF 6 meters, 2 meter, 440 all mode. And I know guys that use that for satellite. Because it is all mode. No longer in production. So you might be able to find a used one in good condition for cheaper than an 818, which is also no longer in production. But 818 does 5 watts. That one does 50.
Ooh.
So, yeah. Kenwood TS2000.
Yeah, but you can also turn the battery or power down. You don't have to transmit 50 watts.
Correct. You don't. But if you're trying to hit a satellite, you might want to transmit 50 watts. So, Kenwood TS2000. What else? The ICOM 706, the ICOM IC7000, the Yaesu FT857, 897, which are the big brothers to the 818. So, what are you trying to do? You want small, lightweight, and compact QRP? 818 is probably a good choice. If you want something bigger than that, the ones I just said. Top 3 HTs under $100, Andy. You're a sadist. You're a sadist. That's what you are.
Moving on.
I don't know. FT65. The TYT TH350 Tribander, $85, and
No.
You know what? No. Well, I don't remember how much that one is. I was going to say a B-Tech UV5x3, but I don't remember. Those might be. Are those under 100? I don't remember if those are $100 or not. But
I don't know.
I don't remember the Tribander, but yeah. close enough. Close enough.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. Let's scroll down here because I want to make sure I don't miss anybody. I'm not looking at the chat real time. I'm looking at it, trying
I got the chat real time.
Keep up with the questions here. Do you ever want to work LF 2200 or 630 meters? I have worked that. We did 630 meter Whisper from Costa Rica.
Ooh.
Back when you had to have a special license in the USA to do 630 meters, you didn't have to have that in Costa Rica. This was several years ago. So we did a Whisper transmission on 630 meters.
What's LF?
It was pretty fun. Low frequency.
Low frequency. Ooh.
Low frequency, but beneath HF.
Mm.
So MF is medium frequency. In radio terms, that's what MF means. It means something else in other terms.
Okay, okay. Yeah, it's all coming back to me now. I was thinking
LF
it was
is low
another
frequency,
term.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be fun. That's a lot of wire you got to.
It's a lot of wire. We bought a 1,000-foot roll of steel fence wire, and we had the ranch hands that were down there working string up about 930 feet of it just across the property. So we were hoping it would stay there until we got back the next year, but it got torn down by some storm or something. But yeah, it's a long freaking wire. It was fun. It was fun to see those Whisper stations come back to you. Whisper's one way. We didn't talk. We didn't do any FT8 or anything like that. It was just a Whisper transmission, but it was fun to see who was hearing our signal.
Who else is transmitting at that frequency?
Well, when 630 meters came out, you had to get an experimental license in the USA, and a lot of people did it because it was a new band. It was fun and unique, and I'm like, this actually sounds pretty cool. 2,200 meters I've never done.
Mm-hmm.
But as you know, Don, because I know where you're going with that, the Flex has those bands built in. You have to get a transverter still, but it's easier to do that with a Flex than other radios. Okay, what is the most expensive ham item or device you bought that turned out to be 100% snake oil garbage? Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Gosh, I'm gonna have to think about that one for a minute.
Yeah, I couldn't. I saw that question earlier, and I didn't really have a good answer.
Yeah.
Like you get some bad devices, but there's just like, oh, it's just not working right, and then you do exchange, and it does.
I mean, on the list would probably be that Baofeng AR-152, which is right. I don't know if you can see it. Well, you can't see it in the shot I'm in right now, but that would be kind of on the list. It was $120 when I bought it. You can get them for like $80 now, but still.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's a good question. I can't come up with anything off the top of my head.
Oh, I think Jody nailed it.
What, the G-Sock?
G-Sock.
G-Sock.
G-Sock. Which is in the car right now for you.
The G-Sock is junk. Yeah. Now T.O. did a video about the G-Sock just like yesterday, I think.
He did a couple of weeks ago.
I watched maybe it was a couple of weeks ago. And I watched it and I got distracted and I turned it off. I didn't finish it yet, but I'm going to.
I wonder if you can fix it.
The problem with the G-Sock is not that it didn't work out of the gate, because it didn't work out of the gate. The problem is that they dropped the project like Zygu does so often. They're like, hey, there's this new cool thing we're going to work on, and you release it too early, you got some bugs in it, people don't like it, and they just move on to something else instead of actually fixing the problem.
Mm-hmm.
They've done that with a couple things in the past, but I don't know. That was the problem with the G-Sock, in my opinion. Okay. Scroll down here. When is Frank going to build his shack?
It's in the works.
Or if Field Tech wants to know. Don wants to know.
Yeah. I got a mount on the chimney, and I'm trying to, and I got everything right now. I have a conduit that I just bought from DX Engineering. I got all the lightning arresters. I have all the cables. I just need to find time to do it. And we're trying to figure out what the best ways to mount the outside conduit box. And I got two of those boxes because I just saw DX Engineering replace the stock, and I said, you haven't had these for the past 4 months. Bye.
Oh, yeah.
I should have released a video after I bought it. Like, you need to buy these now, because I've been looking at junction boxes. These junction or conduit boxes, are expensive on their own right. They are like, to get a decent size one, like $60 to $90, and then you need to put a copper plate or a copper mounting plate in there, and that's another $50. And the DX Engineering, if I can pull that up right now, I bet it's sold out. Sells them in a combined package for only like $80. Junction box, electrical junction box, blah. No. Let's see if I can get into my account. Oh, I'm already there. Profile. Go ahead. Read another question.
Okay, so ThinkPad Mods and Rebuilds, who's been in the chat before, appreciate you coming back. If you had to buy a used, older than 15 years Kenwood radio with a built-in tuner, what model would you get? I don't know that anything older than 50 years is going to have a built-in tuner. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. Out of my area of what I've studied for, TS940, TS870, TS2000 maybe. Although I thought I wanted the TS2000 for the longest time, and I used one at Field Day several years ago. I didn't like it. But the TS870 is fantastic radio. The 930 is decent. The 940 is excellent. The 950 is excellent. I don't know if those. I don't know enough about those older Kenwoods to know. I don't know if they're 15 years old. I'm sure the 940, 930 is. I don't know if they have built-in tuners. But any of those I just named are excellent. The 590SG is it's a new radio, but it's been around a long, long time. So there might actually be a 15-year-old 590SG in there as well. So yeah. All
right. So there is the junction box or the utility enclosure you get for $80 plus tax. I'm rounding up here. It comes with aluminum plate that you could do all your grounding. You got to drill through it, but that's pretty easy. The bottom of it has the slots with the insulations that will go around the cable and keep it water, or not waterproof, but weather sealed a bit. And here's a picture of it all wired up, man. And I bought 2 of these. I wish they had an affiliate link. I've been hounding them for it.
Nice. That's that's kind of like the one that Callum uses that I've been looking at, and they are not cheap. The ones that Callum uses are not cheap, but they're excellent quality. So is that a plastic box on the outside, Frank?
Yeah, it's plastic.
Okay.
And it has these circles right here, which I'm going to drill through the back of my house siding, and then they're going to be completely open into my attic. The cables are going to come in here, then they're going to go up into the lightning arresters, then go up to the roof. Or in the cables that are going to, there's going to be, I have 2 of these. I'm going to have 2 junction boxes. They're going to go down into a second junction box close to the floor, and then they're going to have their lightning arresters there, because just how the antennas are working. Go watch my streams. There's a complicated system. That's why I need to
put a link to that in the chat as well.
Sure.
Because I want a link. Is that mounting plate on the inside, I assume, is metal, where you're mounting the lightning arresters to?
Aluminum.
It's aluminum. Okay.
Aluminum is just it's the cheaper option from copper.
Do they have a copper option?
No.
Okay.
No. Right. But that's the one reason why it's kind of cheap, because that plate is not all copper.
Okay. I might pick one of the I've been looking. The one that Callum has, is like $350.
Oh my God! The Shack update video is over a year old.
Oh yeah.
I need to get my butt in gear.
Yeah, Mike, we were just talking about you. Somebody had a question about what was that about? Oh, somebody had a question about mounting an ATOS to an NMO adapter on their vehicle. And I told them to email you, and you'd put it on your Mailbag Monday thing. So there you go, free content. Ed wants to know, did you get the upgraded kit for the DX Commander? Yes. In fact, after I ordered those at Easter, Callum emailed me like the next day or a couple days later, and he's like, "Hey, do you mind waiting an extra few days? I'm going to put these updated the what do they call them, the adapters on them." I was like, "No, that's fine. I'm not in a hurry. Just send them whenever." And he did that. So yes. Evan wants to know, is the YouTubers Hamfest ever coming back? Probably. We need to have a
the time this year just didn't work out because it almost coincided without like a week or two off of an actual another Hamfest or something.
Right. So last year we've done it on Memorial Day for the last, is it 2 or 3 years? Whichever one it is. I think it was 3 years.
Yeah.
We did it on Memorial Day. After the one last year, we decided we didn't want to do it on the Memorial Day weekend anymore. And we thought, well, we'll move it to the next weekend, which would be the first weekend in June. And we just kind of never got together to talk about that after the fact. And it's a good thing we didn't, because that ended up being, the first weekend in June ended up being the first ever POTA plaque contest weekend inside of Parks on the Air.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad we didn't do it that weekend. So what I'm thinking right now is I need to get the guys on a Zoom chat, and we need to get us all together and discuss. I'm thinking about maybe trying to do something this fall. And see,
there's
see
a
what
lull.
happens.
Kind of after field day to Huntsville, that might.
Well, that's during the summer. I'm thinking about like maybe, I don't know. I mean, if you're talking about large Hamfests, there's not really anything. I think there's a semi-large one in September, but after that, there's not really anything until Orlando. So I'm thinking like September, October-ish, maybe. I don't know. So we don't quote me on that. We haven't decided. I haven't talked to all the guys about it, but we are going to have a meeting. We are going to discuss, and hopefully it will come back again. We all really enjoyed that, but we've got to make sure it works with everyone's schedule.
Mm-hmm. I like Red's question he posted here.
I was just getting to that. Okay, go ahead, Frank.
Is there anything different that you guys are doing this field day compared to last?
Nah, we're just going to go out to the field and blow stuff up.
I have an answer. Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
What I am going to different this year is I want to set up a remote station compared to the field day camp, and I am going to operate within the 1,000-foot limit. I think it's 1,000-foot limit. I already mapped that out where I want to set up. I am going to run a Arden node connected back to base camp to allow me to log in the main database, so we don't have to do any log combination stuff. And that is different that we're going to be doing this year. I see Mike is answering the question for himself. I'm going to let him speak to that later. I'm not going to bring it up.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm excited to set that station up.
I have the latest update to the Buddy Hex. Got some brand new legs for the Buddy Hex. I got new wires a few months ago, so I'm gonna do a new Buddy Hex build video. I did one at Field Day like 3 or 4 years ago, and a lot on his design of his hex beam has changed since then. So I'm gonna use a brand new version of the Buddy Hex. I'm going to put my Elecraft K3 on one side of the triflexer and my Yaesu FTDX10 on the other side, and we'll put something on the third side. If 10 meters is open, we might do something on the third side.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
If 10 meters is open. And then, yes, Don is correct.
What did Don say?
You are talking the Wave 2 to Field Day. You are taking the Wave 2 to Field Day. So EcoFlow sent me a battery-powered air conditioner that they call a Wave 2 or Wave 2 Plus. And, yeah, we're going to go to Field Day and plug that in and see how that works. I know it works well because I've been using it on my patio the last couple of days. So, yeah. So that's not a radio, but it's a thing. Let's see. I think that's the end of the questions, at least in the chat.
Oh, you say that. They're going to run on now.
Good. Good. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let me answer KE5HWB. Does anyone have experience with the EA antennas? 2850 Mox dual band Mox on 10 meter, 6 meter beam. I've never heard of that one, but you might reach out to Chuck, KK6USY. He's a big Moxon guru. He knows a lot about Moxon. He's built a bunch of his own Moxon antennas, and I think he knows about the production ones as well. I'm not familiar with that antenna. Sorry. What were you saying? Go ahead, Frank.
I was going to go down the path like Mike is answering his questions about what he's new bang toys that he's bringing, and I just spent like an hour getting my stuff together, and we're gonna have fun. I'm bringing something different, not new, because I brought everything out. All right, I'm done with that topic. Move on.
All right.
Next question.
This is a good question. That Guy Questionable, which is an excellent name. And thank you for being a YouTube channel member. What is the best antenna setup for the Yaesu FTM500ER? I'll be mounted in mine in the vehicle. I will tell you what I use.
Okay, and I will tell you what I use.
This may or may not be the best, but it is certainly a good choice. I like the Comet vertical mobile antennas. I personally use a Comet SBB2, which is a short little guy. That's what I use mostly for my DMR radio, because all the DMR repeaters around here are on 440. Works excellent on 440. And an SBB5 for my ICOM ID51A and for my Yaesu. My Yaesu will have the SBB2 is on the Yaesu right now, but I'm going to have dual SBB5s on it very soon on the Yaesu and the ICOM. Goodness. The SBB7, which is a much larger and more gain antenna, is a good choice. And those are the ones that I use. Diamond makes a good antenna. I don't know their numbers. I'm not as familiar with Diamond.
I like all the antennas I really use. I've been Diamond high gainers.
Diamond makes a good antenna. Yep. I personally use the Comet antennas. But yeah, the Diamond antennas are good as well.
I had the high gainer, the UHF VHF Diamond antenna for the longest time, and now I got the Diamond tri-band antenna with 2 meter 440 and 25, which we've been
1.25.
Yeah. We've been talking about trying to get on that for the longest time, and we never done that.
So Comet also makes a very wide banded antenna that they call their 2x4. Which covers like 430 megahertz up to 470 megahertz. So it will cover your UHF ham radio band, but will also cover GMRS.
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
So if you ever go and Mars mod your radio and use it to talk on GMRS, I'm not condoning that, but it's your radio. Do what you want to with it. It will cover everything on UHF for ham and GMRS. It's called a Comet. I think it's called a Comet 2x4 CR or CR 2x4, something like that. Just go look up Comet 2x4 on like Gigaparts' website. You'll find it there.
How would you recommend mounting an antenna?
NMO. NMO mounts as often as you can. NMO. PL259 or what they call UHF mounts are fine too. They're fine too. But if you have a choice, NMO. Do NMO mounts.
I have mine drilled and tamped in the trunk, and I like it. I wish it was a little off center so it doesn't bang my roof every time I open up the trunk.
Yep.
But I think I had another good one, but I lost it. Go ahead.
Well, that was the last question. Oh, well, I'm sorry. Dawn had a question. Can you please cover first time setup for the Buddy Hex? The whole mast thing threw me off, and none of you guys covered it.
I think we set that up.
You
did a whole video
that I covered
that.
Times. Yeah. That's that building the Buddy Hex video I did a long time ago. Don, tell me what specifically you want to see, and I will be sure to include it in my new video because I'm already going to record a video next weekend about setting up the brand new Buddy Hex, which you have. You just got yours, so you have the same model I do, the latest. So email me or hit me up in Discord, Don, and tell me what specifically you're talking about, because I don't understand the mast thing. What does that mean? I want to make sure I get it right.
I had a question I don't think we covered here. Kevin's asking, how is the FTDX10 working out for me? And it's working out great. Like I pull in all the contacts when it's setting up. Compared to the G90, the G90 did well. And it's a great radio, but when I took out the Yaesu FTDX10, like I was able to get farther. It felt like my voice was louder and more people could hear me. The G90 was a great radio. I still love working with it. I do FT8 with it a lot, but I really like that Yaesu.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm going to go in backwards order of these. Frank. Charlie wants to know who's hosting the Tank Radio RF Red Summit RF stream on the 5th Sunday in July.
I think it's his turn. Because I did ours. Mine was the last time on my channel, so it's over to Red Summits RF. Charlie is going to host it. Oh, is that really on the 5th Sunday?
Yeah, there's 5 Sundays in July. It's the 30th, in fact.
Wow.
It's the 30th of July. There's 5 Mondays in July. The 31st of July. So yeah, you guys work that out. Tim Snyder from Facebook. Quick question for you. How do you feel about the Buddy Hex beam? When you say Buddy Hex beam, I assume you mean the Buddy Hex. We've been talking about that all stream. I assume you just got here, and that's okay. Thank you for joining. Freaking awesome, fantastic antenna. Buy one. End of story. End of story.
For the Buddy Hexes, the setup time, it's great to set up in a POTA that you are working multiple days.
Yes.
If you're setting it up for a single day, not worth the effort.
It takes about, once you get used to it, it takes about 20 to 25 minutes to set up. The first time you set it up, it'll probably take you 45 minutes to an hour. Once you get used to it, you can do it in under a half hour. But you're not going to want to take that to a POTA, set it up, activate, and then tear it down and go home. But on field day or on a POTA weekend where you go camp for 1 or 2 nights in the same spot, absolutely freaking awesome.
Hook up to a triplexer.
Yes.
You can run 3-4 radio off of it.
So I've got the DX Engineering triplexer that'll do 10, 15, and 20 meters. The Buddy Hex will do. We're going to try to do some 6 meters. 6 meters has been open on FT8 lately. You can do FT8 on field day. So guess what? We're going to try to do some 60 meter FT8 from field day this next weekend. 12 and 17 are work bands. We can't work those on field day legally anyway. 10, 15, and 20 meters, I've got a triplexer that covers those 3 bands. I can hook up 3 radios to the single Buddy Hex antenna and with bandpass filters, we can work all 3 bands. Now, I don't expect, 10 meters has not been open for the last month or 2. I don't expect 10 meters to be open next week, but 15's been open. 15's been on fire, especially for FT8. So we can dedicate a radio to just do 15-meter FT8 and just keep it running all weekend, and then we can dedicate a second radio, also on the Buddy Hex, to get on 20-meter phone and work it all the weekend as well. So that's probably what we're going to do. I'm going to probably bring my FTDX10 and put it on 15 meters because it's got plug and play for the sound card for FT8, be easy to do, and leave it on 15 and just let it work FT8 all weekend. And I'm going to take my Elecraft K3 and put it on 20-meter phone and work that on phone all weekend. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with that.
I like Don's question he just posted.
What's that?
And it's going to highlight something Joss is doing. Are you guys going to try to work Joss on San Clemente Island on field day?
Yeah, he's got that weird call sign that he gave us the other night on the happy hour. But yes. I would absolutely love to work that. Yeah.
If we can hear him, definitely we will line up and get them all. Get them in all of our logs.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
I just wanted to highlight that the Josh got an amazing experience. If y'all haven't heard this, they're gonna bring him out to San Clemente Island, and this island is one of, I heard, the most rarest DX squares that you can get.
Grid square. Yes,
that's what I meant. Grid squares that you can get in the continental United States. So here is the map. Here's Los Angeles, and the island's here. And the reason why it's so rare is that this island is owned by the Navy.
Right.
I think it is the Navy. And they somehow Josh got a special invite, and Josh and Adam to go out.
Yeah, Adam be there
work
too.
The island with a call sign, and I think it's the club on the Navy.
Somebody's asking the call sign. It's KN for UWK, CWK, something like that. He said it on the live stream the other night. Adam was in the group. It is. It's a club. It's a club call.
Club call.
I believe it's
the club
is
on the island, like they're a Navy group.
Oh, that I don't know. That I don't know.
I think he said that. I could be wrong.
Rare 6-meter grid. Yes, Don. Rare 6-meter grid. Adam was in the chat earlier. I know he's going with Josh. Maybe he can answer the call sign question, but it's like KN6, I think. UWK or U something like that.
Let's all be good, respectful hams. I know we all want this. Get it in the logs. Let's not have another disaster like that other island.
Bouvet.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. So Charlie's shots fired, Charlie. Who's going to cook the best meal on field day this year? It will not be me because I don't cook.
Tank Radio!
I don't cook.
Undisputed person cooking the smoker this year. So there's not going to be anything. I am going to be barbecuing ribs. They are going to be amazing. I almost made the sauce or my dry rub today, but instead I started cleaning other fun items that I haven't really touched in a while. I'm like, oh my God, they're putting away this dirty.
Emily is making marshmallows.
Ooh, that'd be a run for my money though.
So yeah.
Ooh, yeah. But it's not a meal.
No, it's not a meal. Yeah, that's a dessert.
That would be my favorite item.
That'd be favorite item, yeah.
Yeah.
Marshmallows. So we'll have homemade bourbon marshmallows. So, yes.
Thank you, Emily. You're amazing.
Yeah. Let's see. KN6UWK according to Dawn.
Nice.
So yeah, good deal. James, what battery do you recommend for the Yaesu FT710 AESS that you can get in the DFW area? Dude, order it on Amazon. Get a Bioenno. Order it on Amazon. Or Gigaparts, if you want to spend a little bit less money. The Gigaparts batteries, I've had incredibly good luck with all 3 of their batteries.
What's in HRO stock? Do they carry Bioenno?
I think they carry Bioenno. I believe they carry Bioenno at HRO. Yes. Yes, I believe they carry Bioenno at HRO. So,
can I just search battery on HRO site? Yeah.
Yeah.
There they are. He said the biggest 48 volts.
No, you don't want that.
Out of stock.
12 volt.
12, 24. Why do they have all these 24s? 50 amp hour. Out of stock.
50 amp hour Bioenno. So
out of stock.
Call HRO and see what the biggest one they got is, dude. Bioenno. You cannot go wrong with the Bioenno battery.
30 amp hour is in stock in Plano right now.
Freaking awesome batteries. Absolutely no problem. You're gonna Bioenno batteries. You're gonna leave in your will to your kid. They're so awesome. They will last forever.
Yeah. So that's the answer. 30 amp hour HRO.
Bioenno. Let's see. Bourbon marshmallows, pew pew, and tannerite with radios on the side. Sounds like my kind of weekend. Mike, I need a CW guy. I invited Kyle. Kyle was gonna come, then he had something else come up. He's going, so I need a CW guy. Drive down, buddy. Get in the Challenger on Wednesday and just head south. It's all right. Mike can tell you exactly how long of a drive it is from Michigan to Texas.
If you're good friends with Shane, he might throw you a ticket, but you'll probably be sitting in standby for half a day.
Yeah. Mike likes to drive. He's like me. He likes to drive places he goes.
Yeah, he drives that Charger, man. He'll be here in half the time.
It's Google a Charger. Says. I'm sorry. I said Challenger. It's a Charger, yeah. He says, put me down for 2024 Winter Field Day. I will absolutely do that.
Are we doing Winter Field Day? Is that in the books?
Yes. Yeah. I went to Quartz Fest last year. I'm not going. I went to Quartz Fest this year. Yes. No, I'm not going to go again. I might go again, but I don't want to do 2 years in a row. I really, really, really missed Winter Field Day this year. So I'm going to
Quartz Fest was fun.
It was fun.
But you need to go in a group.
Yeah.
And but I think I have more fun at Field Day.
Yeah. Yeah. Winter Field Day will be a thing. And
Red Summit is volunteering to be our CW guy for Winter Field Day.
Come on down. We'll put you up, buddy.
He'll bring his own tent. Winter Field Day? He doesn't mind sleeping out there.
Winter Field Day is easy. And I've got a couple of heaters this year as well. I've got my my new Wave 2, which the EcoFlow Wave 2 is an air conditioner or a heater. It's got 2 vents coming out the top of it. One of them's cold, one of them's hot.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got that, and I bought a diesel heater at at the More Expo last April. So I've got we've got heater options for
Mike
that,
says
so.
Ray could take the morning shift. He needs his beauty sleep. N8YO.
It's 17 hours? Damn. Okay.
Ooh.
Well, hey.
With that charger, you could do it in 8.
Probably, yeah. So, Mike, plan to come down like Wednesday to Monday. And I'll make sure I'll put you up. We'll hang out. We'll go hit a couple craft bars before field day. Cigar bars, craft bars and craft beer bars and cigar bars. We'll hang out for a couple days beforehand. We'll go to Winterfield Days, something like that. But yeah, Winterfield Day is yes. Well, Charlie's from freaking Arizona. Last 40s? No. Well, not at night. Not at night. It was in the high 20s at night. A year and a half ago, Winterfield Day. January of 2022. It was in the high 20s at night. Now, during the day, we got up in mid to high 40s, something like that. It's not cold. You're wearing a T-shirt at that point in time. But yeah, at night, yeah.
But you don't understand how much Jason and Mike like a bonfire that's hot.
Yes,
so it's roaring.
Yeah, we absolutely build it. We absolutely build a campfire, and it is yeah. It's a thing. It's a thing. So yeah, definitely not as cold as it will be in Michigan, but probably colder than it would be in Arizona. I assume. Arizona's desert, but you guys have the same seasons year round. I think it's hot during the day and cold at night, or something like that. I don't know, but it's only 15 hours to DFW. Oh, no, okay. So it's 15 hours to DFW. Then literally DFW's airport is 8 minutes that way. And my hunting lease is about an hour and a half that way. So it's probably, I'll send you to my house, and it'll be 15 hours to my house. Yeah. So.
And we'll, if both of y'all come down, then we got more than enough space.
It'll be fun. Well, we do now. I don't know. I'm going to sell that old trailer between now and Winterfield Day, though. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I want to get a wall tent. I want to get like a 20 by 30 wall tent and put a titanium stove or a titanium fire pit in there with the chimney and everything. And I want to put that in camp. Me and another guy who's on the deer lease, we've talked about doing a wall tent for the last two or 3 years. You could put 8 or 10 cots in one of those wall tents and just have it nice and toasty in there. So we might do something like that, but we'll figure it out. We will figure it out. Absolutely. Fire.
Uh-huh. There certainly is a lot of fire. Y'all.
Yeah.
Mike's a pyro. Yeah. Jason likes it big and roaring. It's awesome.
It's the only way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only way to do it. So, any other questions? People are talking about Winterfield Day now. And that's fine. Winterwell, yeah, I've heard that too, Jody. Winterwell stoves are awesome for tents like that, yes. I've heard of that brand. I've got 2 or 3 brands I'm looking at. That's one of them. But yeah, Seek Outside. SeekOutside.com. Go look those guys. They don't make wall tents, but they make some really kick-ass teepees. Like, seriously legit teepees. And they have one that's big that's like a 6-man or something like that. And then they have a couple of smaller ones like that. So I want to get some stuff from SeekOutside.com, and they make stuff with that will have stoves go in them as well. 16 hours for you, Charlie? I think that's probably about right, Charlie. Yeah, it took us about a day and a half to get you, Charlie, last year when going to Grand Canyon. So that's about right. Something like that. So yeah, Charlie and Mike, both of you, and Kyle too. If Kyle was in there earlier, you guys are invited. Let me know. I can put some people up in my house a night or two before.
I got a spare room too.
And Frank's got a spare room as well. And we can, that way you guys don't have to come down, hang out for 2 nights at Winterfield Day, and then go home immediately. You can hang out for a night or two on the front end or the back end of the weekend. We can go hit up some cigar bars or craft beer bars or whatever you guys want to hit up. And got some really good IPAs out here, Mike. I know you're big into IPAs. and got some really famous IPAs out here for Texas. So, what if you could only? Oh yeah, so Ken, you asked it earlier. I missed it. Sorry about that, bud. What if you could only use one POTA antenna from now on? What would it be? I would probably say, reluctantly, and reluctantly because I like using different antennas on POTA and testing out stuff, and it's a great YouTube thing. Got a new antenna, take it on POTA. Get a new antenna, take it on POTA. This is kind of what I like doing. Reluctantly, not because it's a bad antenna, just because I would miss using new antennas. Pac-10 and Fit half wave. Cut for probably, linked for, cut for 80 meters, but linked for 40 as well. So you can put up the 40 section and get 10, 15, 20, and 40 out of it. Pac-10. Freaking excellent antenna. Pac-10 and Fed half wave. Cannot go wrong with the Pac-10 and Fed half wave. But that's also true for a spark plug gear in Fed half wave and a K6ARK 101 in Fed half wave. Hint, hint, if Adam ever puts that back on his store. The Cartena in Fed half wave is good. All of the Chameleon LEFS is good. The Chameleon LEFS is a high-powered in-fit half-wave antenna. So, yeah, but the Pac-10 is just, it's a freaking awesome antenna. Made a lot of POTA contacts on the Pac-10. Noel says, do you think there could be a crossover YouTube channel episode featuring unusual tents, campers, and overlanding setups used by your viewers?
No, you can't cross the topics.
Sure you can.
Cross over? It's just like a video or two we go over.
Like we're ham radio on this channel and we go over there for something else. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing on my
mixing them as the channel's topics.
That's kind of what I'm doing on my Unplugged channel already. So I send people from here to there and talk about ham radio over there a lot. So yeah, sure. Yeah. 2024 HamCon Zion possible appearance. What is HamCon Zion? What is that? I don't know what that is. Sorry.
Zion National Park? Zion.
I don't know what that is. I've never heard of it. What's the best West Coast HamFest and when you ever attended? CPAC, I think, is probably the largest one. Pacificon is there, and it does well, but it's not as big, I don't think. But I would love to attend CPAC one year. I've been wanting to. In fact, I got invited to CPAC by Chris from Buddy Pool this year. And I had a conflict, and I was like, well, I don't think I can. But then he calls me, like, as he's driving out there. He's like, yeah, I'm going to be working the booth by myself this year. And I'm like, you should have told me you didn't tell me you were by yourself. I might have changed my plans around and come out there and hung out with you if you were by yourself. I didn't know that. So
I have an invitation time.
I have an invitation to go to CPAC with Buddy Pool next year. I'm probably going to take it. We'll see.
If I had more vacation time, I would like to do a ham fest on the West Coast.
Yeah.
And maybe alternate that between the West Coast and East Coast. So one year go over there, the next year go over the East Coast. I just need more vacation time.
Right. Bob the Traveler, is Huntsville Hamfest worth attending? Yes. Think of I thought of this analogy the other day. If you're graduating high school and you decide to go to a college that's a party school, that's the Huntsville Hamfest. You're going to get a degree at the end of that party school. You'll probably have a hangover and a headache the whole time that you're going to class, but it's funner than hell. That's Huntsville Hamfest. Huntsville Hamfest is not a large show. All of the big names are there. Flex Radio, Elecraft, Kenwood, ICOM, Yaesu. I assume Kenwood will be there back this year. I hope, fingers crossed. ICOM, Yaesu will be there. MFJ will be there. TN07 will be there. Several other names you recognize will be there. But it's a party. Like, we get there 2 days early and we just have fun. POTA the whole time. We camp out on Montesano State Park, which is about a 10-minute drive from the show. It's a POTA spot and a soda spot. And we camp out there. We rent a pavilion and we
It's billed as the friendliest, most welcome Hamfest because it is more intimate as a Hamfest. You can talk to the vendors more easily, and then they're so close to Jason's saying the national park or state park that we stay out there. We're playing POTA, and we have time to go out and do these additional events because we're not walking the endless acres that is Dayton or Orlando.
Right, right. Yeah, it is. Yeah, y'all are saying in the chat it's right after. It is 2 weeks after Dayton. That's what makes it kind of a pain. But if I went to CPAC, I'd fly out there anyway, and there's no way I'm driving to CPAC. It's in Seaside, Oregon. So, in other words, it's like 3 years drive from here. But yeah, I would just fly out there for the weekend. But I want to go. I've always wanted to go to that show. I always said I want to go to every Hamfest at least once. Well, all the decently large Hamfest at least once. I want to go to Frederikshavn at least once. I'd like to go to the Tokyo Ham Fair at least once. So, not going to be an every year thing, but I'd like to go one time in my life. CPAC's one of those on my bucket list where I'd like to go at least once. So, yeah. Hamcom Zion. Hold on, somebody said something about that. Hamcom Zion. Oh, there's Noel. Okay. Hamcom Zion. Premier Ham Radio event is coming. ARRL Rocky Mountain Division Convention coming in 2024. Rocky Mountain Division Convention. Where the heck is that? So is this a new Hamfest? Is this a new... It says coming 2024. Is this a new effort? Because if this is a brand new thing... Oh, wow. I would totally go to the premiere of that Hamfest. Get the updates. Okay, I'm going to sign up on their email list here. Right there. What am I? Select an option that best describes you. Amateur radio enthusiast.
Yes.
Potential event volunteer.
No.
Commercial vendor.
No.
Presenter. Media influencer. Hey, there's a checkbox right there. Company organization. There we go. Join. All right. Signed up on their... Okay, I'm on their email list now. What city and state is that in? Whoever's talking about that.
Isn't there at the top more about?
No, there's not. Noel says it looks like a really interesting show. Inaugural event for AWR Rocky Mountain to be held in Zion National Park in southern Utah.
Oh, I want to go to this now.
Oh, yes.
Dang.
Yeah, we're going to do that. Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm going to have to swing.
I wonder what the
dates
are. I wonder what the dates are. Yeah, okay. Southern Utah. Hell yes. Inaugural event? Hell yes. All right. Whoever brought that up, thank you. That is freaking... Yeah. I'll go to that. An inaugural event, I will absolutely go to that. That would be fun. Yeah. Yeah, we'll load up everybody in the truck and just head that way. So... Good.
Mike says he's going to be there.
Yeah, I saw Mike says he's there. We'll get Charlie to go. Utah's not that far from Charlie. We'll get Charlie out there. Yeah, I don't see any dates either, Charlie. We'll get maybe Chuck and Javi to meet us there. And maybe Adam. Yeah, we should get a crew to go to that. That'd be fun.
I wonder if I could swing it with my job. There's an office out there and be like, Frank needs to go up there. Yeah.
Well, it says southern Utah. It doesn't say Salt Lake City's in the northern part, is it not?
Well, Salt Lake City's kind of more center Utah. But dude, if I can do a joint company thing, then I will rent a car on my own dime and drive down.
Good.
Save some money.
Charlie says he's going. Okay, so tentative plans for that, guys. Yes. An inaugural Hamfest that's like a division convention for ARRL should be
I haven't
freaking
been to
awesome.
Zion yet.
I've never been there.
That's one of the national parks out that west area I have not been to, and I'm looking forward to scratching
a national park. That's got to be a POTA event, or a POTA spot. We should totally go and camp for like 3 nights before the show and just POTA. And POTA and soda. I assume there's soda stuff in a national park.
No, it depends on the soda. It's all about your 300-degree feet of Providence.
Right. Well, Charlie probably knows. Is it a soda? I guarantee if it's a national park, it is a POTA spot. So, yeah.
Hey, looking at their geographics, they have there's going to be a peak here and there.
Yeah,
it's all mountainous and canyon lands.
We are going to do that. Yeah, that will be fun. Zion is Kilo 0072. There you go. Mike's probably already activated it like 6 times. Knowing him.
Looking at the national parkness. Big Springs.
I am so driving to that. I'm so driving to that. So, yeah. Okay, 2024. There we go.
Soda is near.
Figure out where the hell is what the dates are. But
2024, there might be another new Hamfest that people are hinting at.
2025, actually.
Oh, I thought it was 4.
It's 5.
Ugh.
Yeah.
You're killing me.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I know what you're talking about, and that's going to be 2025. But
2025.
that's cool. We got an inaugural Hamfest next year and another inaugural Hamfest in 2025. So, yeah.
You know what that means? Our hobby is exploding to support all these things.
That's right. That's right.
We are doing it right. We are getting the word out that this is a fun thing to do, and it's more than just sitting on and talking about the radios.
Yep. Good. That's excellent. I thank you for whoever brought that up.
Watch us catch their servers on fire for signing up now.
Yeah. Noel says dates not released yet. I assume the dates were not released yet because they're not prevalent on the website, on the front page there. So, yeah. Yeah, you're damn right. Yeah, heck yeah. Yeah, we're going to do that. That's great. That is great. Okay, more to come on that. Stay tuned. Hopefully it'll be in like late spring, something like that. Be really cool if it, we've got plans in July, tentative plans in July next year. Late, website says late 2024. That's fine. Hey, September, October might work.
So here is Zion. Zion is right here.
Yep.
And Grand Canyon is right here. So it's just north of where we were in the Grand Canyon.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. Yeah.
No, my logo's crooked.
Yeah.
It's always crooked.
It's on purpose.
Hey, that picture is crooked. And my dad stopped straightening it because he moved out.
Nice.
Zion, zero noise floor.
I am absolutely 100% on board with going to an inaugural Hamfest, one that's a division convention, because those are usually good, big shows. You should see, if they did it correctly, you should see all the big names there, like Kenwood, ICOM, Yaesu, Flex, Elecraft, MFJ, some big antenna manufacturers, DX Engineering maybe. I tell you what, freaking Gigapart should go because they have a store in Vegas.
Ooh.
That's not very far from Utah. So, as a crow fly, as stores go, does HRO have a store in Utah?
I will check right now.
I don't know. I don't think that they do. I don't think they have a store in Utah. They got like 13, 14, 15 stores nationwide. I don't remember.
HRO.
Hey, Bill, thanks for the super chat, buddy.
California, Georgia, Colorado, WI,
Wisconsin,
Delaware, Arizona, Texas. Yes, the rest of them don't matter. Oregon,
no HRO in Utah,
Canada,
all right.
New Hampshire,
so
Florida, Virginia.
So the closest ham radio shop might actually be Gigaparts in Las Vegas. There, Vegas is 1 hour from St. George. Charlie says, okay, so Gigaparts. So we're gonna have to hit up Jason and Steve and say, you guys need. They may already know about it, but if they don't, we need to get them involved. Gigaparts, Utah, 2024. You heard it here first. We're going. That'll be fun. It'll be really fun. Good. Cool. Yeah, Ham Radio Hef. I might go to Huntsville this year. Cross your fingers.
Yes.
Good luck to that. Huntsville's a fun show. Again, it's not a big show, but you will see a lot of the vendors you like to see there.
I wonder if what is Kenwood? So Kenwood showed up at Dayton.
Yep.
So what other ham fests are they planning to show up to? Are they going to be back in the game, or they're just showing up to make announcements? What is their?
I do not know. I don't have any insider information in Kenwood, so I do not know. I suspect they will be at Huntsville because Kenwood, ICOM and Yezu will be at Huntsville as they always are. So I suspect Kenwood will be there. We'll see.
I'm gonna have to watch my interview. I wonder if they said anything.
I don't think they did.
I have an interview with Huntsville that I'm holding for. When we get closer to Huntsville, I'm gonna drop it. And I don't think they said anything on there. Ed, Huntsville, bring the booze.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you very much for the participation. This live stream was all about interaction with the chat and with you guys in the chat, question and answer in the chat. Again, the first time I did a show, I said this in the beginning, we have a lot more people watching now. The first time I did an AMA, this is my third one. Well, every time, including today. I would like I got a couple of things I'm working on for live streams that are not ready yet, so I'm just like, I don't really have anything for tonight, so let's just do an AMA. Well, the first time I did that, it actually turned out really well. I had a lot of really great interaction from the chat, a lot of good questions, a lot of good comments, a lot of good back and forth. And I love that. That's great. So I appreciate you guys being here. And, let me know in the comments. Not in the chat, but put a comment in the actual YouTube video about whether you'd like to see this again. We'll do another one at some point in time. But yeah, this is I really like interacting with the chat the way we do on these on this type of live stream. So I appreciate you guys being there for that today. We will be operating as KN5TR, Kilo November 5 Tango Radio, from Field Day this weekend, starting. We're going to set up Friday.
But set up. That means we're just going to operate under our call signs.
We might be under our own call signs on Friday night.
And Saturday at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, Saturday at 1 o'clock.
TR out of the gate.
1 o'clock our time starts. N8YO's on 6-meter FT8. I've been watching you, Mike, on 6-meter FT8, and every time I see you, I turn on my radio and see if 6 meters is up in Texas when it is in Michigan. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. 6 meters has been pretty hot lately. Well, off and on hot lately for FT8. So, yeah, he just at least called CQ or something. But yeah, so we'll be out there all weekend next weekend, and KN5TR, come work us and put us in your Ham Alert. If you don't have Ham Alert, go download Ham Alert and put all your favorite call signs in it so that you can make contacts with those that you want to be in a call sign, or want to make contact with. So, 73 to all. I'll have a new video dropping tomorrow, and then my live stream on Wednesday will be about Field Day this coming weekend.
Cool.
So be ready for that as well, and then we'll probably live stream from Field Day on Saturday like I did last year, and it was fun there. So we'll probably do that again. But appreciate you guys being there. Thanks for the questions. Anybody on Team Replay, put your question in the comments below, and we will do our best.
And don't forget,
to get to.
Monday is the last day for whiskey tumblers. One more time, I'm throwing that out there.
Oh, I added 4 more to it as we were talking during the stream.
Yes.
So there's 4 on there now.
Cool. I'm so looking forward to getting these ordered. It is going to be a month or 3-week turnaround for them to make these and give them back to me, and then I got to ship them all out.
Yeah.
I have good ideas for the shipping. It's going to be good. I can't wait.
Winston, thank you for the super chat. I live in a townhome, decent backyard setup, HF antenna. However, I'm concerned the row of townhomes that I live in, the neighbor's townhome, the parallel to mine would block the line of sight. You don't care. Line of sight's not as important on HF as it is on higher bands. I wouldn't worry about it. Put up whatever antenna you want that you can. NVIS will get you more local contacts. It's near vertical incident skywave. So in other words, your signal is going to go more vertically than it would ground wave on an NVIS setup.
That first hop would be about 50 to 100 miles out.
Right. But it's still more regional than a regular setup would be. Don't worry about line of sight with HF. It's not nearly as important with HF as it is with VHF and above. So set up the antenna you want and go for it. This is my suggestion. So $73 all. Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all being here tonight. We will talk at you tomorrow.
Looking forward to it.